evening, everybody, and welcome back once again to Rogues Gallery Live. Hello, everyone. Like I said, it's Rogues Gallery Live. This is episode number 126, with the latest in collecting news, pictures, topics, and whatever. But anyway, I'm Chris the Batman Statue Collector. It's great to be back with you all again, and I do apologize for my absence last week of not going live, but I was in Orlando. I just barely escaped a hurricane, so that was great. We were all kind of freaking out of when that hurricane's going to hit, and I do want to send my thoughts and prayers to anybody that's affected down there, because I'm sure it is a nightmare. With flooding and whatnot. So anyway, I'm thinking about you guys there in Florida and the Gulf Coast. And so right here we have Mr. Dan Default from formerly Wayne Manor North, still kind of
kind of in between. I know I'm rocking my prison background here as everything is moved out.
You're in a bunker somewhere. I don't know where you're
at. I really am in a bunker. Everything's moved out, so I feel like it's echoey in here too. So yeah, it's a little sparse, but we're in the middle of the move, and as it says on my when you put the names up, we're at T-minus 32 days now. So, yeah, we're right in the thick of it, but it's no fun for any of you thinking about moving. I mean, I don't consider myself somebody who's got a lot of statues, but I mean, I think I've got like 25 or so. Holy crap. It's hard work. It's no joke.
Yeah. I was going to say, since the last time I moved, I think I've doubled my statues at least. And I can't even imagine moving right now. Like, it would be a night. I mean, I have to move them from this room to the next room, and that's going to be a nightmare. I can't imagine what you're going through moving states.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that here in a bit. We'll talk about
it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We also have a brand new rogue here on the show, which is very, very exciting. This, of course, is Susan. Everybody knows her from the collecting community. We're so glad to have you here on the show. Finally had the chance to meet you in person, which was just a dream for me. I'd been wanting to do that for years and years and years.
And I can't believe it never happened before. It should have, but
it should have. But I'm in the middle of Kansas, so like just getting anywhere is like a nightmare sometimes. So I finally bit the bullet last year and finally went to San Diego last year. And I think you were there, but we never ran into each other.
We missed each other, and I was so bummed because I was like, wait, you were here and I was here? Really?
Of course, but it's very easy to miss people at that place.
For sure. It's insane.
It is insane. But anyway, we're so glad to have you, and we're hoping that you'll be a regular here on the show when you can be, and so it's just awesome to have you here.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm gonna duck out early on the show because I have like a thing in an hour, but like I am very happy to be here. I'm like I was so excited that I double booked myself. So I just really wanted to make my first appearance as a rogue. I've loved this show for so long, and Chris is such like a positive person in the community that I just really wanted to be a part of this. It's just so great.
Well,
I do need to update my background though, because my Batman stuff is on the other side of the room, so I need to like switch it out.
Oh, but I see some great pieces behind you. You got some statues and some Funkos. It looks like, and some great stuff. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. Well, anyway, welcome. We're really glad to have you here. So make yourself comfortable. And again, this is just an off-the-cuff show. So say what you want and do what you want. And we're just glad to have you.
Thank you.
All right. We also have Mr. Eric B from All Things Art. How's it going? So wait a minute, hold on a second. We gotta move. We gotta make this right. There you go. We all have our spots. Everybody's gotta have their spots.
Oh, I messed up everyone's spots. So
no, you're good.
Oh, you're good.
It's mostly this guy. As long as he's in this corner, we're okay. That's the thing. We got to have Delaney back here. How's it going?
Good.
From Secret Sanctuary.
I'm sorry. I'm fine. How are you, Eric?
Yeah, how are you, Eric?
You messed me up. I think you're going to me because I was over there.
See, we got to go in order now. So then, hey, Eric, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, I've been getting here a little bit later, so I think I'm the last one each time. I got to get here before Jeff next time.
That's right. You got to, it's like being first in line. If you wanted to get the good spot, that's why, Dan got the good spot right there. Anyway, how's it going, everybody? Anything new going on with you guys?
Oh, let's see. I got Captain Kirk in.
Great review, by the way.
Thank you. And I got Red Riding Hood in. And Captain Marvel's coming in the next couple of days.
Very nice.
I think I saw
really-
someone post that the Evil Queen was that the J. Scott Campbell. It was shipping also soon.
In batches, apparently, because mine's not shipping.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Mm.
Yeah.
Let's see, Eric, did you get? I know you got your. Our last show we talked about the PrimeOne shipping. Did you get all that resolved and figured out now that you're
Yeah.
going to become a importer of statues?
Yes. Business has been slow. I only imported one statue since the last 2 weeks.
Hopefully you're one and done.
He's up there on the top shelf right now. I might move him down to the middle shelf, but for now he's up top.
Eric got the PrimeOne Studio Penguin, which is very exciting. It's another one that I have coming as well. But Eric did the faster shipping, but had to literally become an importer in order to get the statue, which is becoming a nightmare. I've heard other nightmares stories from other collectors about, and this was FedEx specifically.
Yeah, there was a few posts, I think, from either today or it might have been yesterday with PrimeOne's shipping just being all messed up right now.
I saw one today in your group, Chris.
Yeah.
My message. So I have Batman Triumphant coming from them, and also the Penguin, which are the companion pieces. And the Batman on mine says there's still an error, and so I contacted PrimeOne, and they said that it's not showing an error on their end, but apparently they're aware of everything going on, and so hopefully they will continue to address if there are issues. It seems like it's mostly affecting people that did the standard shipping versus the economy shipping. And so hopefully people won't have to deal with what Eric had to deal with.
Yeah. Well, mine was a little different. So since the last show, I've had a lot of people reach out to me because of the error with PrimeOne. And so now they're getting errors on Prime. Like PrimeOne is sending out emails saying you need to update something or do something. Otherwise the statue is being returned back to them. And then the collectors are going on the website and, or even, emailing PrimeOne and they're saying everything looks fine on their end. So I don't know what's going on.
So again, hopefully they will fix all of that because I know it's a nightmare, and I've seen a lot of people say that they will not be ordering from them while it's like this, so it's like, I hope that they fix their business and can make it right for the collectors. Cause I'm sure, again, it is a nightmare to deal with. And I know Eric, it was a giant headache.
Yeah. Well, at least mine was stuck in Chicago. These people are getting emails saying, you better do something. Otherwise it's getting returned back to PrimeOne. So that's a little bit more scary.
That is nuts. A fellow collector received their Batman Triumphant recently. I actually have the photos that we'll look at here in just a bit. So it is massive. I don't know if you guys have seen the photos already about it, but it's pretty crazy. But anybody else have anything new in? I know Jeff said that he's got something. Dan, you probably have nothing because
I purposely have tried to have nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's just another thing to move. I do expect though that custom punchline is set to ship any day.
It's a great piece. I'm anxious to see what you think about that one.
Yeah, me too.
I was thinking about you too, because since the New York Comic-Con tickets were shipping, I bet that's a pain in the ass because now you have to update your shipping, make sure everything gets delivered to the new address and all that.
Yeah, and it's right in the middle of all that. We closed on that house on October 2nd, so it's kind of right in the middle. It's just brutal. Yeah.
Are you still going to New York Comic-Con?
Probably not at this point.
Okay. I was just curious. I ran into Billy. Billy Rios is another collector. We actually ran into each other at Disney World of all places, right in front of the Carousel of Progress, which was pretty great. But anyway, he's going to be there, and I know Eric's going to be there. So my issue with New York is that I'm going to be at Disney World that week, doing the VIP with Brad, and I have an in-service on Friday that I have to be at. And so that means I would be flying out Friday night, would be there Saturday, and would be flying home Sunday.
Yeah.
So I just, I don't know. I've already done an art commission from George Jimenez. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with it.
There's an outside chance, Chris. I just don't know yet.
I kind of wondered. I figured, it's just the bad timing, really.
It's just bad timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got off topic there. But anyway, Dan, nothing from you. Susan's like, tell people what you collect. Like, what kinds of things do you like to add to your collection? Obviously, you've got some great stuff behind you.
I mean, everything. I don't discriminate. I collect a lot of stuff. But I got really excited over the weekend because my waitlist converted for my Kate Bishop Iron Studios 1/10. Because
nice.
right now I'm out of space so I need to go smaller. So Iron Studios 1/10 is my sweet spot right now. So I got very excited that waitlist converted. So she's supposed to ship, I think it said September, so I'm hoping it actually ships on time because a lot of those have been getting delayed.
Right.
Yeah, unfortunately. Do you collect mostly female characters?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I'm looking around. Yeah, because it's like for DC, it's Huntress, Canary, and Catwoman. And then for like Star Wars, it's a lot of Leia and R2 and then for like, and then Death from Sandman, a ton of Death from Sandman. And then Marvel, it's a lot of ladies, and then Doctor Strange in the middle of all of them.
Yes, I know you love Doctor Strange. And
yeah, I was like, and Doctor Strange in the middle of all of these ladies.
That's right. Because you were Susan Strange for a while.
I remember
for a while. Yes, you were.
Yes, that was a name, and I have this on my arm.
Yes,
that's
of course.
burned on my body forever.
Yes, of course. Very cool. And you mentioned Leia. You got to meet Carrie Fisher at one point, right?
I did get to meet Carrie Fisher, and she kissed me on the mouth.
Yeah. Wow, that is memorable.
That is the best celebrity encounter I've ever had in my life, because she kissed me on the mouth. I said, well, because honestly, I don't get starstruck very easily because everybody is a human being and everybody has like good days, bad days, whatever. But Carrie Fisher, I got like, I didn't know what to say. And so the only thing I could think of to say was, I love you. So I said like, Carrie, I love you, instead of, hi, my name is Susan, like a person, So I said, Carrie, I love you. And she said, oh my God, sweetie, I love you too. And grabbed my face and went, mwah! Like just grab my, and I was like, oh my God. So yeah.
Did she say I know?
She should have said I know, but she didn't. She said, oh my God, I love you, and then she grabbed my face and kissed me. No, but that's it. Yeah, she should have said I know, but she had like a giant big gulp Diet Coke, and her dog was running around, and I was like, I don't even know what's happening. What is life?
Mitchell Green says, forget the agenda tonight. Let's just hear more stories from Susan. Right. So there you go. No pressure, Susan. No pressure.
Oh my God. I've been kissed by Lando also. Billy D. Williams also kissed me.
Geez,
yeah.
That's incredible.
But he was on the hand, and he was like polite, and he was not that Carrie Fisher wasn't polite, it just was more shocking. He did like a very Lando, like, hello, young lady, and like,
Also Harvey Dent, to our two.
Also Harvey Dent, of course,
right?
Which I rewatched recently and was like, man, I love this movie.
It's so good. I love those movies. They're so good.
So good.
Anyway, Billy Reyes, who we just mentioned earlier, he says greetings from Central Florida. So he's at Disney World right now, and he's trying to keep our heads above water. It looks like Disney World's a pretty safe place right now. It looks like they're getting some rain and stuff. So it looks like the storm mostly moved north, but it's kind of curving around. So pretty crazy. So again, my thoughts go with all the people in Florida and surrounding areas that are dealing with that craziness. For sure. So anyway, Den says old smoothie. I think you're probably talking about Lando there, Billy D. Williams. Definitely an old smoothie.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's not acting when he's playing Lando.
I think it's just smooth and that's just him. So anyway,
so Chris, you asked Susan, what about the rest of you? What's the guy-girl ratio in your collection?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, like for me, like I have mostly guys because there's only like 3 featured females most of the time in statues for Batman. I mean, you got Harley, you got the Sirens, right? You got Harley, you got Poison Ivy, and you got Catwoman.
Do you collect Huntress?
I did have Huntress. I collect Batman surrounded by the villains. So that's my thing. I love the villains. And so I have had Huntress. I've actually had the PrimeOne Huntress twice. And sold her twice because I end up like needing the space for a villain, basically. If you think about Catwoman, I mean, all the Sirens these days are pretty much heroes. I mean, they're not really villains anymore. So I maybe need to change my thinking a little bit with that.
I was thinking the other day, you ordered Alfred. He's not a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've ordered Alfred. Dan ordered Alfred, which is very exciting. First company that's ever done an Alfred in larger scale, which is very exciting. And again, we have photos to look at as well. But I'm trying to think of. I am getting that Vampirilla, the PrimeOne Vampirilla,
right?
Which will be my only oddball addition. But I think my ratio is mostly guys, what about you guys?
So someone suggested to me to move. I can't see what's going on. Harley.
Yeah.
Over to the other side
I-
to create the sirens. But then I was like, wait, it's going to be all females on one side and then all males on the other side. And I was like, I don't know, that might bother me. I'm like OCD about certain balancing. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Right.
But yeah, I might move.
Look good. I think it would look good to have Harley and Joker opposite each other on the chairs.
That was my original plan when I designed everything. So like, when I photoshopped the mock-up. So I think I am going to put backwards here, Harley, where Penguin is, and then put Penguin where Harley is. So I was about to do it the other night, but they're so heavy. They're like, they weigh like 50, 60 pounds each. And when you have to lift them that high in the shelf, it feels like 200 pounds. So I backed out.
If you don't want the like all females, all males, you could just switch. So you could put put Penguin down where Catwoman is.
Yep,
and then do like the triangle of them too. That would look really cool.
That's my other plan.
Okay.
That would look good.
But
the problem is you have to move them.
Just moving them is just
it sounds easier said than done. Like I said, they're very heavy, especially when you have to lift them up onto the shelf.
Yeah. And then that involves moving 3 instead of moving just 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
And these are made by IKEA, so I don't like to touch them as much as possible because you never know when something might just come down crashing.
Well, it's time for some custom shelving.
I know.
It might be.
Yeah, I definitely need something.
I finally had to go that route. It's like, I trust that way more than bought furniture. That's the thing.
Wait until you get Penguin. You see how heavy he is. I was so surprised at how heavy they made that statue.
It's crazy because obviously, Susan, somebody suggested whenever I move to the new space, I do a top 5 heaviest statues that I have to move video.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that. And like there's just a couple of statues that are, especially like Mr. Freeze, the PrimeOne Mr. Freeze is just absurdly heavy. It's like a lead weight. But like just the thought of having to move any of those statues any distance is like, it's a nightmare.
Try moving them from different buildings up a hill. That's what a lot of people have to do on the campus at Sideshow. Like they're rock stars over there. Rock stars having to do that and not breaking them.
And are those like mostly the prototypes and stuff too? Like
yeah. They're rock stars.
That's scary. It's very, very scary. Anyway, so let's just kind of get into our first topic because I want to talk especially to Dan because he's moving. Let me get rid of this banner real quick, guys.
Hey, Chris, that PrimeOne Freeze is the only statue that I've refused to move just by myself. I had help to move that one.
You moved the Bat Bike on your own?
I did. Wow. But I took it
apart first?
I took it apart.
I'm trying to figure out how to move it without taking it apart.
I think that's extraordinarily risky.
I think so too. Like that cape is scary.
The way that,
And for those of you that don't know, like I'm talking about this guy back here.
Yeah.
With the cape coming forward. That's the one I probably worry about the most, I think. Some of those back there probably are going to be okay, but I don't know. I worry.
Mr. Freeze does not come apart easily either. It's just kind of, that gun is so big and he's just awkward and weighs a ton.
Well, and the one that worries me the most really is the Bane, because the Batman versus Bane from PrimeOne, because do you remember that it didn't fit right? So I had to Dremel it. Yep. And it's stuck in there. Like I don't think I can get it apart at this point because of the weight of him. So I'm going to have to just carry the upper body or the legs and the base together.
Yeah.
So these guys over there.
Yep.
But let me see if I don't have it lit up, but it's my other corner right there.
That's a big old statue too.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, so Dan, let's fill us in. So we were going to do this last show, but you were unavailable, and so I wanted to wait since you were going to be making some big changes. So again, you are moving to Wayne Manor, Rocket City.
Wayne Manor, Rocket City, it is. Yes, sir.
Exciting, a big giant change. You've lived in the Northeast your entire life.
I have.
And now you're getting closer and closer to my Disney World. So it's
I really am. Yeah. We've been, my wife and I, we've been eyeing southern locales for the past few years. We're empty nest now, right?
Yep.
So we've got all kinds of options. So, but we fell in love. We had a chance to go to Alabama earlier this year for some other stuff, and fell in love with the area. It's just booming. For anybody who doesn't know, Rocket City, Huntsville is called the Rocket City because since the space race back in late 50s, early 60s, all of the jet technology or rocket engine technology is developed there, all the R&D for NASA and others. So now you've got NASA's there, Blue Origin's there, all the space, related companies, Lockheed Martin is there. And it's just a booming area because now you've got the next mission to the moon, the mission to Mars, and, civilian space travel. It's crazy. So it's a great area, really fun.
And so you have found a house.
Yeah, we bought a house. We are closing on October 2nd. So that's why T-minus 32 days. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's exciting.
It is nerve wracking. We haven't moved in 15 years and it's just like, oh my God, but we're getting there. We're almost all packed up and jumping through all the hoops associated with selling this house and buying that one. And but the biggest news is that the new bat cave has been identified in the new house, right? So my wife, who's an absolute rock star, has agreed to.
Renee is fantastic.
Yeah, she's
absolutely fantastic.
She was happy to have me, have this space in the house, and it is big. It's 24.6 inches by 24 feet 6 inches by 24 feet 6 inches.
Wow.
It's got its own walk-in closet, like giant walking. So the intention of this space typically is they call it generational living. So if you have, whether it's a child or an elder parent or somebody staying with you, that they have a space that could almost be like a studio apartment kind of thing.
Okay.
So it has its own walk-in closet. It's got its own full bath. It's like my wing.
Are you going to put statues in the bathtub or no?
It's definitely a Wayne Manor for sure.
Oh, Dan, you muted yourself, bud. You muted yourself.
He always does that.
Got overexcited.
You did. I can't unmute.
And now he can't unmute it.
Let's just see if we could read his lips.
I am so bad at reading lips. It'll come out real weird.
So anyway, basically Dan is moving into this new space, and hopefully we'll get his mic back because I wanted to tell us a little bit about what he has planned. But to give you guys an idea, so his space, like you said, is about 25 feet by 25 feet. Which, as you know, I know Mr. Delaney would probably say that's a dream scenario because obviously that's something we talked about for years here on the channel. And Susan mentioned it earlier that space is always at a premium whenever you're a collector. And it's you have to either downsize or shuffle things around or sell things in order to accommodate the new things. And this is
or just get a bigger storage unit.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. And so just to compare his size of his space, 25 by 25. So I finally measured my new gallery, and it's 21 feet by 30. So mine's a little bit longer of a space, but it gives you an idea that he's going to have a lot of room to work with, which is really exciting. So, Eric, we mentioned custom shelving. That's obviously something that I'm doing in my space.
Oh, there he is.
There's Dan back. There you go. Hey,
yay!
We can hear you now.
Yes.
You know what it is? In the new Batcave, I need a new dongle for the. So the MacBook only takes USB-C.
Yeah.
And the camera, of course, is USB-A. And the dongle is kind of glitchy. So sorry about that, guys.
Same thing happened to me the other week too. Yeah.
Did it really? Yeah.
Yep.
So
the wire gets a little loose, and then everything shuts off.
Everything shuts down. So I'm trying not to touch anything now. So I'm just
don't touch your dongle. That's what we're discovering here on Rogues Gallery tonight. Do not touch your dongle.
You'll go blind.
Could be a new T-shirt.
Oh my God! If that's not going to be a soundbite,
I was going to say that's going to go in the Rogues Gallery calendar, I guess.
Oh, my
amazing.
Dan's dongle. So there you go.
Yes.
So anyway, I was going to ask you, and I was asking Eric too, about custom shelvings. Like you had mentioned that to us privately. Like, do you have a kind of a plan of what you want to do with your new space? Because it's going to be, you're going to have, what is it, triple what you have now?
Well, the room that I'm in now is 14 by 18, I think.
Okay, so not
Is
quite
it
triple, but yeah,
probably double?
Yeah,
It's
about
probably
double.
double.
Yeah.
It certainly feels a lot bigger. So I don't know. I mean, we've been thinking a lot about shelving for in there and how I want to do it. I think at one end of the room, I might do like almost like we have some of this love sack furniture. I was telling Susan and Chris during the pre-show, highly configurable. I'll probably do like a screen, someplace to hang out. The big question is to whether or not to do. I am. So
You are, yeah.
Chris refused to bail me out.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
We have this running joke on the show about only Dan's that he's going to have to start his only Dan's account.
Only Dan. Yeah, that was the running joke in my house too. Because after I got off that show, Renee's like, "What's only Dan's?"
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so been talking a lot about the shelving and whether or not to do built-in or not, and I've got some ideas on that. But honestly, so a little bit of a sneak preview, and Chris and guys, I want to talk this through with you too.
Yeah.
As once I get in there, but I'm kind of leaning toward doing, Chris, what you were initially talking about, which is some kind of like using those Sam's Garage shelves that don't have all the holes in them.
Yep.
And then modifying them a bit. And I'm thinking of almost creating pedestals for them so that you can create some height differences.
Yep.
And maybe some molding, some custom tops that have moldings to kind of dress them up a bit, just to make it a bit more modular, because I don't know if I'm ready to commit to kind of like what you did in your room. I don't know if I can commit to that.
Well, I mean, what I did is a whole another level of crazy, especially that I drywalled it, like that's right. The thing is like, but it's one of those things where if we ever sold the house, I still feel like it could be like a theater room or something, along those lines, and still look classy and nice. Yeah. You could put books on it or whatever you wanted to do. And I wired it so you could put a TV on the shelf, or, you can make it into your own kind of like built-in, whatever you want it to be. But, my original plan, like you mentioned, was to do those Sam's Club or Costco shelving that's, they've just dressed them up so nice compared to what I started back, 7 years ago with doing the cabinets. And but once I had the built-ins built in, that's whenever we started having the conversation of like, will it look weird to have the built-ins and then the more of the modular look? And so that's why we ended up doing the side shelves. But I think for you, I think it would be really nice. And I think, you're so handy and crafty at what you do with the shelving that you had in this room, with more of that industrial look. I think it'll be really nice. And plus the great thing about those shelves are that they hold so much weight. And I love the idea of the different heights. It's something that I'm going to struggle with, not having that as much in the new room, but I think I can do more with whatever I come up with for the middle of the space. I think that's where I can maybe get a little bit of the height difference. Yeah. So there's definitely a lot on the docket. That's for sure. A lot to do. Art planning also, I've teased Dan that he's got to fly out here to help me out with all of my, all of my art that I've acquired recently.
And there is a lot that you've acquired.
Did you watch the video?
Oh my God. Yeah. It just keeps going and going. And then I got this one, and then I got this one. And then
it's nuts. And I don't even have them all framed yet. So
I felt like there should be an intervention or something. Because cow.
But I mean, come on, look how great this is.
Oh, it's all great.
I mean, original David Finch commission. Come on, how great is that? I mean,
that's incredible.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm really excited for the changes that you're going to be having over there. And I hope you document it. I hope you're willing to do that.
Yep.
Because I think, there's going to be this big lull here on the channel. Like, it was like, what, because I'll be done with my project and now we'll get to live through yours, which will be really exciting. Just update everybody on my project. Derek, my guy, has been here this weekend and today putting in the tops of the shelving. So that should be done here soon. They're almost done with all the LEDs. I haven't figured out. I just got in from Florida yesterday evening, and because we have to drive home from Kansas City, and that's a 3-hour drive. So I got home late last night. And so I haven't figured out how to actually sync the LEDs and all that stuff. But I think I maybe showed you guys the video, and it's lit up with all the different colors and stuff. So I think it'll be really cool. But
so are the top shelves painted yet, or are they installing them first and then you're painting them?
They're going to install them first, and then I'm going to do you
said you have to sand them too, right?
Well, you put the primer coat. There's like a special primer that you can put on MDF, and that like seals the edges basically. And then you sand it, and then I'm going to paint it a shiny, glossy black, and then do a glossy polyurethane or whatever it is to seal it. Yeah. So it'll I think it'll look really nice with like a really, really slick black within the dark gray shelves. So
yeah, it's gonna look good. And then I'll see if I can find the picture. There was a collector. I used to like collect collectors' photos of like setups that I really liked.
Yeah.
He had like a Star Wars collection, and he did exactly what you said with the garage shelving, but instead of what Chris did, where he blocked out the panels, the bottom with the panels, he just put the wood around where the metal would be, so it looked like wood, cabinets, and it looked really like elegant and nice. Like he did it all different like browns and earth tones to match like the whole Star Wars theme.
Oh, that's cool.
Really, really nice. The lighting.
That's awesome.
I'll see if I can find the picture. It was going back like 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah, that's very much what I have in mind, is something, dressing them up. And honestly, what got me thinking, two things. One, what Chris had been talking about originally, but two, I really tried not to watch TikTok. Have you guys watched? Like I don't need another platform to get sucked into, but my wife does, right? So she showed me this thing where this woman, she's a DIY TikToker, and she took IKEA shelving, actually PICS units, and made her own like custom walk-in closet, setup. It looked just like California closets or one of those.
Yeah.
How she dressed them up.
I also watch a lot of redecorating TikToks, and I saw someone who took Billy bookshelves and made an entire basically Belle's library from Beauty and the Beast out of Billy bookshelves, awesome. And it was insanely cool because they had not just books on it, but like also little collectibles and things like that on there. And I was like, this is amazing. Yeah, so yes, TikTok is a pit, but sometimes there's some really good ideas that come out of it.
Yeah, so many creative people out there, and it's just that's what's great about whether it's TikTok or this show or the Facebook groups and all that stuff, is just being able to share ideas with each other and be like, oh my gosh, that was so great. I've said before, I think I was one of the very first people on YouTube to use garage shelving for statues. And then I, dressed them up, with wood and things like that to make them look nicer and presentable, because at the time, I couldn't go anywhere in my hometown and find anything that would accommodate a statue. I didn't have an IKEA next to me or anything like that. And so I just had to be creative. And that's what I love about the community, is people sharing their ideas like that to say, hey, look what you can do this. Like, you can create this and make something really cool out of it. So I'm really excited to see what you end up doing.
Yeah, I'm looking for it's fun. Awesome. Fun. Yeah.
That's awesome. And so Eric, I was going to ask you earlier, like, is that something you would ever consider doing, or are you pretty happy with the cases that you have?
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys remember, before I switched to 1/3, and changed the whole display behind me, I wanted to take down, these cabinets. These cabinets were from my old house, before I moved. And it was never made to go on this wall. Like we just got lucky. Like it, just happened to fit perfectly, pretty much, except for the, I had to add the side pedestals. But yeah, my wife really likes the setup. She didn't want to change it. Originally, I wanted to take this down and do like a nice, maybe like a stone, like brick type wall in the background, and just keep it very, minimalistic. Not too many, statues, just a few like around the TV, because this is like my entertainment center. The TV's in the middle. But she didn't want to do that. So now when I went to IKEA, I had to replace, one of the back panels, which I was telling you guys, they no longer make these. So if something ever happens to I told her, if something ever happens, I can't replace them. So she was like, if that ever happens, we're just going to do something different. So I think she's on board to finally do something different.
Aren't those PICS?
Yeah. So I didn't want to interrupt you. So the IKEA PICS are actually made for clothes. Those are wardrobe cabinets. They're not made for like books or like display cabinets. They're made. You're supposed to put clothes inside of them.
Even better. But they're not making.
They're a little deeper than the best is.
PICS got like absorbed by one of the other lines like a year or two ago. Like actually pretty recently. Like I want to say in the last year or so, it got absorbed by, I forget which line, but another one of the lines.
Wow.
Okay.
So will they have something
Because
similar?
I have a
then to
PAX
it?
thing too that I can't get ever replace it.
Wow.
So they still have a few in my location, but they stopped making the brown blackish color. They only have like a light gray and the white ones.
Okay.
Do you ever worry about them bending or breaking over time, or do you feel like they're pretty steady? Sturdy, I mean.
I mean, every time I put a new statue on that shelf, I worry about that. Like I have them double reinforced. Under each shelf are 2 metal bars under each one, but I should have told you to share those photos tonight. I put on the group, like I had to cut one in half, not mine. One I picked up from another collector just so I could take the parts off of it. And I cut the board in half, and you could see the inside of how it's all hollow on the inside. It's basically just like Formica, on the outsides, and then the inside is, they use a lot of cardboard, and then there's a little bit of like compressed wood, in strips.
Wow.
So it's very
Wow.
cheaply made.
Wow.
To be holding, extreme weight.
It was nuts when you cut into that thing. It was
So,
crazy.
Yeah. So even me reinforcing the shelves, putting, nails or bolts into the wood, it compressed wood's not really made to hold, like screws. Even screws can still rip out of compressed wood. So I'm still a little nervous about that.
I heard that, John Connor, that detolfs are being discontinued. That's gonna.
Ooh.
That's been a staple forever.
Yeah.
I know. I have 6 of them in my house. Wait, 8 of them in my house.
It's crazy. Really crazy. They've just had it for so long, and I know there's been like other companies that do similar knockoff type things, but
They're not the same.
they're not the same. Yeah, they're not the same. Yep, I agree. I have one. I've always had one for a long time. It's in our Disney room right now with our Sideshow Grogu, our life size. So we have him in there, but and a few Pirates of the Caribbean stuff in there. I should probably do a room tour of that because I've never really showed that stuff. So
You should.
it'd be fun. So Jeff, I'm assuming no changes in the sanctuary. Are you happy kind of the way with things are, or do you ever see yourself?
I think you have to
updating your room.
I spend a lot of time trying to figure out how I'm going to fit the stuff I have on order, what I'm going to sell, and what I messaged you guys the other day because I have 4 Billy bookcases in here and the shelves are bowing.
Yep.
And I'm not sure what to do because I have such limited space that I could go slightly bigger, like maybe 13 inches deep instead of the 11-inch deep Billy bookcases, but that's about it. Otherwise, I run into my couch.
Are the shelves removable? Like, or are they like drilled into like the like he is?
The top is part of is a structural element.
So even the top's bowing. So I was gonna say you could just rotate the shelves. A lot of people do that with the packs. They just flip them every few months. This way, it reverses the bow.
Yeah, I might be able to do that. Temporary solution, but yeah. So, but yeah, I got to figure something out. And then that LBS Hulk is on the water.
Somebody just said he's gonna take up half your room, which is insane.
He'll definitely be the centerpiece.
You told us, sorry, by how much that thing weighs. What was
I was gonna say you got some shipping information recently, right?
176.5 pounds. That's 2 boxes. That's including XM Studios boxes, which are pretty heavy.
They are heavy.
Cool.
Are you getting the torso too, or just the statue?
I'm getting the single torso.
And that weight, it doesn't even include the extra torsos. Like that's insane. Like if you get those too, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That weighs more than humans.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like human beings.
That is human.
That is a person. Yeah.
You need a couple of torsos to get to me.
Oh my God. Me too. But it's crazy though that these statues. And actually, if we get to the topic later, somebody asked a question about weight and statues. So if we get to that, we might do that. I don't. Let's. You guys ready to move on to the next topic, or is there anything else you guys want to talk about with that?
Let's move on.
Okay.
Move on.
I did want to take a moment. I know people have been talking about this in the chat. I actually was going to do this at the beginning of the show, but I forgot. But I wanted to just take a moment to remember Arlene Sorkin, who was the original voice of Harley Quinn, obviously a very talented actress, and she passed away this past weekend. which is very, very shocking. Of course, with the loss of Kevin Conroy, who was my Batman. I still can't believe that he has left us. But just wanted to take a moment and thank her for all of her contributions to an incredible character, and she started it all. Of course, I never got a chance to meet her. I did get to meet Tara Strong, who's done the voice, of course, of Teen Titans Go and Harley in the Arkham games. But Arlene started it all. So, any fond memories of her, guys, or of Harley Quinn when you first saw her on the animated series?
Yeah.
I didn't know until maybe a year ago. I always thought Tara Strong was the original voice for the animated series. I remember after.
She's just I took it really hard this weekend. I'm not gonna lie. I watched a bunch of the old original Batman the animated series. It was pretty rough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy, and I don't know what the circumstances were, if she'd been ill or something, but again, my thoughts go out to her and her family, and it's a big loss. It's just been a big loss for that series here recently. So not very many left, obviously, but just anyway, it's just such a shame.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys get a chance, though, in her memory, watch her soap opera appearance where they got the idea to make her Harley, because it's this really cool clip of her. I forget which soap opera it is, but she's on roller skates, and it's the first time the voice comes out, and you really hear that's how she became Harley Quinn. So it's a pretty cool thing. If you want to watch it,
that's really cool.
Watch it in her memory. Yeah. Just if you put it into YouTube, it shows up. She's on roller skates. That's how you know you have the right clip.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, thank you for telling us that. That's all right.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to topic 2. $2,000 quarter scale statues. Are companies out of touch, or is this just the beginning?
$2,200.
$2,200. Yes. Didn't have as nice of a ring to it, I guess, in the title, but so I did a video recently for this was considering PrimeOne and Shugo. I can't remember now, but there's another company that's doing a Snape figure for them, and it's a quarter scale statue. It is an artisan type of statue, and so I did the video. And I still stand by what I said, that it's just, I feel like it is, out of touch, and it kind of alienates a lot of the customer base whenever this is the new price point. What did you guys think whenever you first saw the price point for that? Were you as shocked as I was?
It's ridiculous.
1,000%. Yes.
It's ridiculous. There's nothing, you can't. I understand that they're saying that each one is painted by a master artist, right, in-house. And I know there's a lot of cost associated with that. But if that was a factory painted piece, would it reduce it down to $800 like it looks like? You know what I mean? What is it really more than double? Because to me, it doesn't look like anything more than an $800 quarter scale piece.
Well, yeah, if you get custom statues painted, you're going to, pay a few thousand compared to what they, paint in factories in China where, they barely, pay those people. So, if they are going to do pro painting for each statue, then maybe I guess I could see the value there, but I don't know. Does it really need it? Factories do a pretty good job.
Yeah. And it's just 150 of them, right?
150 is the ES on it. Yes, it is going to be hand painted, but it's literally just a face and hands.
Yeah,
the rest of it is all cut and sew.
Yeah.
So I did my video, and I talked to the creative director quite frequently, and he messaged me and he said, he obviously disagreed with my comment. And he said, next time, just, you could have just reached out and I could have explained it to you. It's I understand. I've been in this game long enough. I know how a lot of this works. And I get that there is, a good quality to, knowing that a master painter painted it. But I asked him, I said, okay, so I saw the Alien Ripley at San Diego Comic-Con last year. I thought she looked great. There was that Dune piece there last year. I thought that looked great. And I basically said, I'm like, because he was talking about how much better this paint is. And I said, so are you saying that your other products are not great? Because I think they are. Like, I think that those are really great. Those price points are really pretty good for the other quarter scales that you're doing by other, factory painters that are doing a really good job and usually are very, very close to the prototype. Not always, but a majority of the time. And he was pretty silent about that. And I keep telling him that's like, I want all of these companies to succeed. I want everybody to continue to put out great products because it benefits them. And it also benefits the collectors that has choice. Obviously, a lot of collectors are not going to spend $2,200 on a quarter scale Snape. I love Snape. He's my favorite character in Harry Potter. I love Alan Rickman. I love the Harry Potter series. Would I spend that much money on him? No.
See, what bothers me too is that, like, the question is this alienation? And I do believe that it is, because this is something that I would buy normally. Like, yes. I have a Harry Potter collection. Snape is on my list of characters that I normally would get. I purchase things in quarter scale. Tick, tick, tick. This ticks all the boxes of something I would normally collect. But I do not want to buy a $2,200 piece, because it takes it one out of my price range, because that means I can't get so many other figures that I would want to get, or pieces that I would want to get. And two, personally, hearing that it comes from a master painter doesn't do anything for me. Yeah. Like it just doesn't. Like the 150 edition size, great. That sounds cool. I like low edition sizes. I like knowing that I have something that not a lot of other people have. That's great. But it definitely personally alienates me, because this is a piece that I normally would get. And it was something I was watching those videos. I was very intrigued by it until I saw the price point and was like, what in the actual hell? Like all of these things to me don't equal that. And that made me really sad. I was very sad.
I think they could have done what Queen Studios did with the quarter scale Ledger Joker and do the artisan edition of 150 and then make 1,000 of non-artisan that they sent to a factory.
100%.
There you go.
That would have been such an easy thing. And it's like, there's already, and the reason why I reached out to him and I talked to him about it is because seeing the trend over the last year, how many collectors are dropping out because of the cost increase. And I know that there's a lot involved that we don't always see. Obviously, when you were at Sideshow, I'm sure you saw a lot of the stuff that we don't get to see, and the price and the cost that's associated and all the people behind the scenes that are involved that we never ever see, production wise and just everything. So I know that there's a tremendous amount of cost, and sometimes with the licensing, there's a lot of cost there. Obviously, I've had a lot of conversations with the director as well about just how limited in the amount of people there are that are actually painting these things, and how talented they are. I mean, they are unbelievable that they can make these all look the same and turn out as well as they do. And so I get all that. I've just completely lost my train of thought now. Sorry. I went off on my rail there. But I worry so much about the collector that they're already dropping like flies. And so are they just now going to try to target this ultra exclusive type of collector? We see that with Disney. Disney has flat out said, like, we are overcrowded. We have too many people coming to the parks. So we're going to make it harder for lower income folks to come to Disney. We're going to target those people that will spend $1 million, at the parks and buy everything. And just that's who they're targeting. And they've been clear about that, which is unfortunate. But we see other companies do that as well. Do you think that's kind of where we're at this point, where companies are going to start targeting that ultra collector with these higher price points, really low ESs? Like I said in that video, if they sell 150 of these that's $330,000 in net profit potentially.
It's low stock.
Well, That's what it felt like 2 years ago when they raised the prices. They were trying to price people out. This is just like over the top. Like,
it makes me really sad if that's what's happening. Like, it really does, because there are collectors of all kinds, and I would hate to see the community suffer because of price points like that. Quarter scale should stay in. I mean, I understand everything, the economy right now, everything is raising prices. Like, you're going to the grocery store, you can see that strawberries raise prices. Like, I understand that prices have to go up, but like, don't price out the people who are the Chris's, who are loyal to you and want everyone to succeed. Like, that's not the person you want to price out. You don't want to price out those collectors. Maybe you want to price out you almost want to, I don't know. I don't think you should price out anyone, really. Like, it just, to me, it's supposed to be for everyone. It's supposed to be a representation of something that you love, and if you want that in your home, that's where it needs to be. And the exclusivity of it, I get, because trust me, I like having the thing that no one else has. I think that's awesome. But also, I like it when you have that thing too, and now we have something to talk about, and like, that's a really cool way to relate to someone on like a very interesting, fun level. So yeah, I see all sides of it, but at the same time, it makes me sad.
Yeah, it does. And it goes back to what Jeff said. An easy solution would have been to say, you know, here's the regular $700, $800, $900 quarter scale, which I think maybe would have been still fair. Like, you look at like Iron Studios, that Voldemort with Nagini, like, that was an incredible statue that Iron Studios put together. Yeah. Beautiful statue. And it was gorgeous. A little pricier. I think it was like $1,200. But it's a big, giant statue. Like, it's got the, you know, the snake and everything. So it's a lot of base going on. You could say that might have been overpriced as well, but it's one of the coolest quarter scales I've ever had in this room. Like, it was just really, really neat. And I just, it was too scary for my wife. She loves Harry Potter. She's the biggest Harry Potter fan in our family.
Hey, I get it. I won't do Voldemort either in this house.
Yeah, I got it for her. It's like, this would be cool if we could put it in our Disney room or whatever, in our Universal or whatever. And it's like our geek room, and she's like, nope, it's too scary. And so it's like it went. But I just think it was so cool. But like, they could have done something like that at that price point, and then still offered, like Jeff said, to say, hey, this is the ultra exclusive one that's hand painted. Yeah, but we ran into that with Queen Studios, where they said that it was all going to be hand painted by an artist, and then it turned out that it was the artist team.
Yeah,
that
could be the same thing here too. It could be the master painter is overseeing a team.
100%. We'll never know, because it's, you know, they won't disclose that. I don't think.
Well, that's what I say. Is it really worth another $1,000 just for a pro painter to paint a face?
A face.
It's not even. It's like $1,500 extra for a pro painter. Like, that's another XM. That's a whole other statue. That's like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, but they
don't
only
get to have now.
They only need to convince 150 people that it is, and if it's low stock already, they've already convinced over 100. So
yep. And so, like, what do they care as long as they're selling? I mean, again, at the end of the day, they're a business. They're wanting to cater to that high end collector, and that's great. But I feel like as long as they don't keep going that route, I think we're okay. And like I mentioned to the creative director, is like the comparison about J&D and trying to make a kind of a more exclusive type of a character and an offering, and he did not want to be in that same ballpark. Like, this is not what we're doing.
Sure.
You know,
but I mean, I would love to see more, like I want to see the stuff that's not out of, like, not priced out too. Like, I just want to see things in the $800 range that we're used to right now for the quarter scale stuff, like that. Like, bring some, like, okay, so you had Snape in this, like, have Sirius Black in this normal $800 range. Like, that would be great.
Yeah.
I agree.
His portrait has hand punched hair, or is it sculpted?
I believe it's hand punched hair, but it is not silicone, which I'm thankful for.
Oh, yeah.
But
not glass eyes.
What? Not glass eyes. Yeah, there's no glass eyes. Again, that's the other companies are offering the silicone and the glass eyes. I do not like the silicone. I feel like it's for the most part not great. There have been some exceptions.
They would have to do that like wig thing, like
that's what Queen Studios does. They do that They do the wig effect, and it's very effective. I mean, I've got the Joker sitting right here from Queen Studios, and I love it. It's really well done. It looks hand punched, but it's not. And so I think that they'll do a nice job with this. I mean, I don't think there's any question that it'll.
Oh, I think it's going to be stunning when it comes out. I think it's going to be beautiful. I just don't like that. I'm bitter because I can't have it.
Yeah. But hopefully somebody will, and maybe down the road, PrimeOne will say, "Hey, we're going to offer. Now that we sold 150 of these, maybe now we'll offer this other version with the sculpted hair or something."
And that would be lovely.
And that would be great. It goes back to what I worry about with the alienation. It's like you look at somebody like Sideshow, who has continued to have a same type of similar price point.
Yeah,
they've kept that the same. We've talked about it a lot on the show that we're so proud of that because. They could jack up the prices and they haven't. Like it's been pretty consistent, that $600, $700 ish range at this point. Of course, whenever I started, it was, $300.
I remember when it was like $300, $400.
Yeah. Those were the glory days. Right.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Nothing's going to change that. But I do worry about some companies eventually going under because they can't compete, or they make sometimes bad business decisions and they just don't care about the fans. And I think the fans are what fuel the passion of this hobby. They are what drives this hobby. I said it earlier, I want this hobby and these companies and the fans to be healthy. I want them to be, in a good place and have a lot of variety. But I do worry about sometimes if you take your fans for granted, I think that can come back to bite you pretty hard. This thing with shipping, which we talked about with Eric, I mean, I can't even tell you how many people in that video said, I'm not going to order directly from them now because of what Eric had to deal with. I mean,
don't go by one story of one person myself.
Right. It's like I ordered direct from them this week. I ordered Alfred from them again. So I've got 5 or 6 pre-orders directly from PrimeOne. And yes, that might be a risk and that I'm just going to have to take. But like Dan said, he wanted the bonus. And so I wanted the bonus too, or he's holding the cowl. And so it is what it is. But at the end of the day, again, I just feel like we have to continue to support the companies, but also the companies have to
not take us for granted.
Not take us for granted.
Yes.
Well, it kind of goes into the whole conspiracy thing. Are they overcharging, either on the shipping or, for example, this statue? They know it's going to be a popular piece. It's a popular, line and popular character, and PrimeOne has been, struggling a little bit with their edition sizes and selling things. I wonder if they're trying to make up some cost here and there.
Well, especially the DC stuff. I mean, again, they've been very forthcoming with me about the DC stuff is just not selling in the United States. That's why the edition sizes are so low, and those characters aren't as popular in the Asian markets. And so that's why you see a lot of more of the anime stuff being very, very popular. The video game things being very, very popular from PrimeOne. They've sold through the roof.
That's interesting because I work for a clothing company, and that's the exact same thing in the clothing company too. The DC stuff is not selling as well, so our overheads and our orders, we have to cut back on DC stuff for now. And I wonder if that has anything to do with, I don't know, the movies.
Yeah. Well, I think it definitely has something to do with the movies. The movies have kind of gone downhill. There's been exceptions. Obviously, I love the Batman. The Joker movie did very well for DC, but a lot of the other ones haven't. Obviously, Marvel is kind of they had this great 10 years. And now, I still watch every single Marvel movie, but they haven't been as good in my opinion.
Oh no, I just think it's interesting that the collector world is mirrors the same stuff that I see in my job day to day now, which is it's just interesting to me.
Do you think it's oversaturation also? Do you think it's so much?
Yeah. The one thing that's consistent, way consistent for us, Star Wars. Yeah. Star Wars fans are they're steady people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that's just such a great franchise. Yeah. I mean, obviously Star Wars is, in my opinion, a much more beloved, than a lot of the superhero stuff. Obviously it's, universally beloved. But it is interesting that even on your side of things that you're seeing.
Yeah, it's I'm talking about jackets and sweaters and dresses, and it's the same. It's inspired by superheroes as well, but it's the same. So we see the same thing as edition sizes as statues. It's crazy.
Do you want to take a second to promote that company?
Oh yeah, if you guys we mostly do women's clothing. So it's Elhofer Design. We do geeky women's wear.
Nice.
Well, that's
Cool.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a lot of amazing ladies here in our chat this evening and on the channel.
Yes.
So again, thank
Absolutely.
you to
Check
all of
them
our-
out.
Yeah, absolutely. I also want to thank 200 people watching right now. Please give the
Wow.
like button. That's awesome. Thank you guys very, very much. And so we are at the 1 hour point. I don't know if you need to head out now
Ooh,
or
I do have to head out,
Okay.
but thank you guys so much for having me. I'll see you guys next time. Okay.
Awesome. See you next time.
I'll
Really
be
appreciate you
back
being
next
here,
time.
and
Okay.
take care of
Thank you
yourself.
guys for
Bye, Susan.
watching. 200 people. That's amazing. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Susan.
Bye.
See
Thank
ya.
you, Susan.
Bye. Take
Bye.
care.
See ya.
And then there were 4.
And
That was cool.
Very, very cool. So again, I just want to take a second to thank Susan for being on. I reached out to her. We actually had a conversation that wasn't on camera at San Diego, just talking about, the collecting community and the love that we have for it. And I really want her to be a part of it again. And so that's why I invited her to be a rogue, and she accepted. And so again, I'm thrilled that she wanted to be part of our show because she means a lot to me, and I know the other rogues here. And so just very, very excited to have her on whenever she can be on as a regular. So anyway, thanks again, Susan. Appreciate it. Do you want to move to photos? We don't have a lot of photos tonight, so we could do a third quick topic, or we can just move to photos. What do you guys want to do?
Either way, I just got notification Captain Marvel's coming tomorrow.
Oh,
nice.
man.
Excited about that.
I'm just upset because I've got my Penguin shipping and my Batman Triumphant shipping, and it just still says label created.
I hate that.
Yeah. It doesn't update until it hits the United States.
Yeah. And I've heard some people it's taken like 5 months.
Wow.
Oh man. Look at
So I'm like-
Cece's comment in the chat.
What'd she say? I missed it. What'd she say?
She said, ugh, now it's just the dude.
No, it's just the
Oh, now
dude.
it's just the dude.
You're welcome.
CC, here's what I'm gonna do, CC. I'm gonna invite you right now.
Oh boy.
I'm going to Facebook. I'm gonna go to Facebook Messenger.
See what you did, CC?
See, she's gonna have to put up or shut up.
That's right.
All right, here's the link, CC. I'm putting it in there. So now it's just not just the dudes. All right, there you go. Boom.
All right.
That's right.
Back
Equal
to top.
opportunity here on Rogues Gallery.
So what is the third topic?
Yeah.
How do I know whether to say go to photos or not? I don't know.
Okay, so the third topic.
Wrap.
Well, let's just do this quick then. We'll just do it quick.
Okay.
So topic number 3, lighter in 2024. So what I always like to do is before we go live, I always like to post, what people would like us to talk about. And a lot of times people have kind of repeated things that we've already talked about recently. So unfortunately, I don't always pick those things. But this is one that somebody did ask. And they said, would you guys want to see lighter statues in 2024 if it meant that, let's say, that all the Sideshow statues were like a PVC material? If it meant that shipping was going to be a lot less. Obviously, we've talked on the channel before about how we like there to be kind of some weight to our statues, or to be some, like I've got this Joker, like we like that it's like weighted, it's got some weight to it. I've got this art piece back here that I'm not reviewing for the channel, but it is it's polystone and PVC combined. I don't feel like there's any detail lost on it compared to a polystone statue. There are elements of him that's still heavy. The base is still heavy, which I like because I feel like it gives it support. But then there's also PVC elements, PVC plasticky elements as well, which in some cases we've heard that the PVC is more expensive to work with.
Yeah.
So like, how do you guys feel at this point in 2024? Because I know in the old days, people were bring out their pitchforks and torches if anybody mentioned PVC. But with the insane shipping costs or what Eric just had to deal with and that sort of thing, would you guys be okay with going that route? I know, again, there's been some customs that have been purchased lately that are PVC. Does that bother you at all, Dan?
I really don't know. And I'm sitting here thinking, I don't know if I'm familiar with a piece that's entirely PVC, because if it's too light, it's probably going to feel more like a toy.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You start getting in that like that, and again, no offense to like a Kotobukiya or like, you know, that just they have that plasticky feel to them.
Exactly.
Diamond Select, again, they look great, but there is that
it's a different feel, and I don't
different feel.
Now, a blend. I mean, somebody just mentioned a second ago. I think it already scrolled past, but like the PVC capes or PVC elements to the piece. You know, certain things so that they're not as breakable. I'm good with that, but the whole thing, I don't know.
I just want to thank Jimmy. Became a member again tonight. Member for 25 months here on the channel. So
awesome.
Again, thank you so very much. I appreciate you, Jimmy, for being with me so long, and then also here on the Rogues Gallery. Thank you very, very much.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
when
I think about statues, I think about like, you know, going back to like even before I collected like superhero statues, I used to collect like, you know, Renaissance statues, you know, and you know, it's just things that like, you know, look like maybe like marble or, you know, something like that. And when I think of the word statue, I think of something heavy. I don't think I would want like PVC or, you know, something that I'm going to feel like it's going to blow off the shelf, or if I accidentally bump into it, or if the table shakes or something, it's going to go flying. But yeah, as far as like, for like the capes and like certain, you know, they do it even with the polystone statue, certain elements on the statue do have to be, you know, lighter material like PVC. But yeah, the whole statue, I probably wouldn't buy it, to be honest.
Would you want lighter bases? Like, I feel like the bases tend to be the heaviest part of statues a lot of times, where it's just obnoxiously heavy.
I can see that. Does that throw off the engineering if you've got a heavy polystone piece on top of a lighter PVC base?
It absolutely could. I'm assuming that's why oftentimes they are as heavy as they are.
I mean, maybe sometimes like I'm going back. I'm thinking about my
Hey, CC.
Hey, CC.
Challenge accepted, right?
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, I don't back down from challenges normally. So
All right. Well, we're glad to have you pop on. Thanks for being here with us.
yeah, thanks for having me.
So we're talking about, I don't know if you've been following along since you've been logging in, but we've been talking about like weights of statues and collectibles. Does the weight bother you at all, or do you expect that heaviness feel to your collectibles?
Yeah, I don't. It's funny. I think years ago I read an article about the origins of why we equate heavy objects with quality or like a high price tag. I think it's almost like Diamonds Are Forever by De Beers. Like we just have some campaign slogan to blame for that. I think if it looks good, I really don't matter. And with the cost of shipping, I'm not going to be upset about something being lightweight in a time like this. If it means it saves us a lot of money in the long run.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, I feel like, especially like when you were talking about the capes, like the Batman Detective Comics, 1000, that is a PVC cape. Thank God. Thank God, because I think that was brilliant. I don't think it loses anything by being PVC. I think it looks great, and I don't worry at all about it breaking. But like the statue that Dan just moved last week, with the Bat Bike, like that's scary because that is incredibly breakable.
It's interesting what they decide to make PVC and what they decide to make polystone. So I was going to say with the penguin. So like, the character is polystone, but the penguins are freaking like one of those penguins that like, it's like, one of the penguins maybe like 10 inches tall. It feels like it feels like it weighs almost like 10 pounds. It's like, so certain, like you can't win. It's like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish they would have made this heavier. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish they would have made it lighter. So like, I don't know why they made, a penguin that's on the back of the base 10 pounds heavy when they could have, just made it have like PVC or something.
And I think,
go ahead. Sorry.
I think I've heard that it's actually more expensive for the statue manufacturers to incorporate PVC as opposed, like it'd be far cheaper to just stick with 100% polystone.
Right. Yeah, especially if they're printing it. So if they're printing it directly, it's more money than like molding it. Yeah.
So maybe that's why we haven't seen a lot of lighter weight statues, because if it is more expensive on their end, they're obviously either going to raise the price of the statue. I mean, they're going to pass it on to us for sure.
I think it was we had on someone from who's the company that makes those animated busts, the Batman animated busts?
Is that Giant or Diamond Select?
Yeah, Diamond Select. We had on the guy from Diamond Select, and I think he was the one that was telling us about that. How it's more money to print them, like directly print something out than they would have like polystone or something.
for me, like as long as the element it still looks good, I don't really care. But I do feel like I don't know. And like when it comes to engineering, again, it does make me feel better knowing that the base is a little heavier, knowing that the statue won't topple over or things like that. But I think as long as I don't know, I guess long story short, too late. I feel like going completely PVC is not my cup of tea. I do feel like it would start feeling a little bit more toy-like.
So would you hesitate?
You guys all agree with that?
Would you hesitate to buy a Blitzway piece because of the PVC portrait?
No, because I have one already. I've got my Ledger Joker. I love it. It doesn't bother me at all. You can't tell that it's PVC.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with I'm sorry, Rita. I was gonna say it's the same thing with silicone. Like I'm not into like silicone looking statues, like especially like smaller ones. It looks like a doll to me. So I mean, it's everybody has their own taste. It's another material I'm not a fan of. So,
but like again, like do we all agree like we would not be real happy if it was all PVC?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, and Eric, I'm sorry if you said this while I was getting ready, but I think also the paint doesn't like gel well with PVC as much as it does polystone.
They've been doing a better job. If we go back, maybe like, at least for me, like 6-7 years ago when I started collecting statues, there used to be a really big difference in the paint. The color, the shades, when they would try to paint something, on the statue that was plastic versus polystone. Like say, like Captain Marvel was a good example. The first Sideshow Captain Marvel they did, her, I don't know what you call it, like the outskirt thing that flows out was made out of plastic. And, and then around her waist was the belt, a sash. So the waist was polystone, but the sash was PVC, and they used the same like maroon color. And you can see like the difference between the material and the shade. It's just, I guess it absorbs the paint a little bit different, but I think the companies have been doing a lot, better job at making things match, when they're using two different materials between the paint.
Well, I mean, Hot Toys are PVC, right?
What was PVC?
Aren't Hot Toys PVC?
I never had a Hot Toys.
Yeah, I mean, they look great. They're incredible likenesses.
Yep. They are, and they've obviously figured out a way to paint. And I know sometimes it's like even like a printing technique almost that they do on it. I don't know how they do that, but it's pretty incredible. So yeah, I think they've definitely come a long way. It's not your 1990s or 1980s PVC toys. It's definitely come a long way with what they've been able to do. Give a shout out real quick to Key JX, $20 super chat. Thank you very, very much. I'm not exactly sure if I understand what you're trying to say here. Well prepped Batman versus God, blessing Black Panther. Does anybody understand what they're saying there? I'm not sure.
No.
Okay. I apologize. Thank you for the tweet.
But I'm intrigued.
I am very intrigued also. So if you would just reword that, because I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to ask, Key. But thank you for the $20 super chat. That was really awesome. Again, I want to thank the 207 people watching right now. That's awesome. Again, I want to thank Susan for being on. I want to thank Cece for popping on randomly. This was awesome. Thank you very, very much.
I kind of understand it, but no. All right. Yeah.
What'd you say, Eric?
I'm thinking it says with prep, would Batman versus God versus Black Panther maybe? Who would win in a fight?
I don't know the second character, but I think it's a reference to like everyone saying, well, with enough prep time, Batman could basically be anyone. So I think it's like, but I don't understand the God Bast, and then is it like Batman versus a character I don't know versus Black Panther? But
okay.
Kickback is $20, and I can't even make out what that means. So, again, hopefully just reword it, and hopefully we'll be able to figure it out. But yeah, with enough prep time, Batman can take on anybody, right?
Yeah, but that's not the main. Like CC was saying, like a lot of people compare Black Panther to Batman, who would win with prep time.
Justin says, "Well, Bast is the Panther God."
Oh, so maybe it's just like with prep, would Batman beat Black Panther?
Yeah.
Oh. That's a great question. I mean, I'm the Batman statue collector, so I'm going to say yes. But what do you guys think?
That's a $20 question.
That is a $20 question.
Who knows? He's supposed to beat everybody with prep time, right? So,
yeah.
Well, Batman's got the gadgets, right? Batman's got the gadgets. He's going to do recon. He's going to be a detective. Whereas, I don't know. But
he's so depressed, though.
He is depressed. Maybe if they just take him to Wakanda for a while, he'll be happy.
See?
You never know.
Show me a
I agree.
picture.
Eric says CC is awesome. I concur. Absolutely awesome.
Well, I just realized like both Black Panther and Batman are orphans,
That's true.
Oh, that's a good point.
so neither of them can like take their parents to brunch on Mother's Day or something. I don't know.
Ronaldo Rodriguez says, "Hi Chris, I'll be one of those people holding back on buying items from PrimeOne. I think I think I'm still okay with buying from PrimeOne. Again, I just feel like it's one of those things where you just have to kind of know what you're getting into.
I mean, like everything else that's going on with them, just blame it on the new website design, because that seems ever since they updated the website, everything seems to be causing issues. So.
Yeah. So we'll see. So again, that was a short topic. Do you guys want to go into photos?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's do it. Sorry, make sure I'm getting the right thing here. All right. Let me know if you guys can see this.
Looks like me.
That is you.
Yeah.
You see it okay?
That was a big shocker when I opened that box up.
So there is a much larger penguin than we were expecting. There's Eric, of course, getting his penguin from PrimeOne.
Much larger.
He's a big, hefty boy. I'll say that.
So what do you think, Eric, overall? I did watch your video, but if people haven't watched it.
I love it. I thought I was having maybe like new statue syndrome, to where I was like, I felt like it was like one of the best pieces in my collection, but it's been a few weeks and I still constantly find myself staring at him. I mean, he's not my favorite in my collection, but he's definitely like maybe like top 3 that I have in my collection, I think.
What's your favorite part of it?
I think it's the fur. So I don't know, like, I'm usually not a mixed media person, but I like the real fur on him. Maybe that's what's catching my
He turned out really nice, I think.
Yep.
Which I like that they did that too.
I really like the way that they did the base. It's one of the best effects I've seen as far as like making it look like snow and like frost. It looks like it's like really like iced over.
It looks like they've come so far. Like I have the Mr. Freeze from PrimeOne 1/3, and I feel like the snow is not very good on it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And it's just like, I feel like this is really, it's got that shimmer to it. It's just really nice. It looks like ice kind of.
Yeah, they did a really good job with this. Yeah, I can't really think of any complaints other than, like the weight of some of the items.
Yeah.
And the shipping.
Dan, did you ever consider this one?
No, I did at first, and then I really like sideshows.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of fleshing out the quarter scale side of my collection. So
yep.
I think for now, although this looks really, really good.
And to be honest, I don't even think my pictures does the statue justice. I think it looks a lot better in person.
I really like that portrait. That portrait right there is cool.
The Fabok.
Yep.
I love that they did this. This is one that I would not use, but I love that they gave the Arkham nod and did a penguin head. I think that's awesome from the game. Again, it's not a head I would necessarily use. And then of course you got kind of that Danny DeVito looking portrait, which is awesome. What do you think of that one in person, Eric?
Again, like I wasn't planning on picking up the bonus. I have no intention of displaying the Danny DeVito or the Arkham portrait. And I was like, what the hell? I could change my mind maybe a few years later and then want to display them. So I was like, I'll just get the bonus. And then just unboxing, I was like, wowed just by how good those two portraits look, like the Arkham and the Danny DeVito, especially the Danny DeVito. It's really impressive in person.
It's awesome. This is, I think, my favorite pose. I really like him. And I didn't realize it was going to be the fabric umbrella. I figured it'd be a sculpted one for this. So it's interesting. You have to change it out a little bit.
It's very well made too. It's very strong. Like you have to like really struggle to like open it. It's like a solid umbrella. It's not
cool.
like a flimsy, drink umbrella or something.
This particular look is based off the Fabok cover. Where he's got the pocket watch. But again, just congratulations on a really great piece. I think it turned out really nice, and can't wait to get mine.
Yeah, they did a great job with this one. I mean, it's simple. It's not like much going on with the colors or anything. Like even the penguins look really good in person. I don't know, some reason like photos, like even like that was my main thing. Like we saw like I think one collector in Asia got it first, and I really wasn't happy with the photos. I was getting worried. And even on the website, it looks okay, but they do like the enhanced lighting, all the backdrops to make it look better. So I was getting a little worried, and then when I unboxed, I was just like, wow, this looks really so much better in person.
That's great. Well, I'm really happy you got it, and I'm happy you got it with all the issues with shipping. I'm really glad that you finally got it in.
Yeah, he's great. You'll love it.
It's awesome. Even the money looks great. A lot of great detail on it. Are all those individual pieces?
No, so like they come in like different size stacks. So like there's like a big stack, there's like smaller stacks. Everything in the bag comes in the bag.
Yeah. So you can kind of customize it a little bit.
Yeah. So these pictures, I didn't even put all the money on it. They give you like, so many stacks of money. You don't even need half of it.
But it's sculpted?
Yeah. Oh, and they put these like foam, like felt pads on the bottom of the money, so it doesn't like scratch up the base again.
That's
like
smart. That's
little
nice.
attention to detail. PrimeOne always does that, with their stuff.
Yeah. That's a
So
nice
really
touch. These were just posted today. This is the other one that I have coming. This is the Batman Triumphant. Some people have not loved this one because it's got a fabric cape. But again, this is another Fabok inspired piece, which again, we've talked about how it's getting, kind of redundant now at this point. There's so many different Fabok versions. I also thought it was interesting that this one has been shipped before the Batman versus Joker. That one went up for pre-order well before this one did. But I think it looks great. Look how big this is, though. Like,
I just noticed he has like the snow effect on his base too. It looks like.
Yeah, it goes behind the penguin.
Yeah, I know. I never noticed the snow thing on it.
But you've seen pictures of Hush and how massive Hush is. This is actually taller than Hush.
Yeah, that thing's
Hush Superman.
Oh yeah, the Hush Super. Wow, I haven't seen this photo. Yeah.
And then this is side by side with the Arkham, the Arkham Batman. So it's a really sizable piece. So anyway, it's 2 boxes. I know it's 2 boxes coming to me. So hopefully, I'll get that shipped to the United States here soon.
I think he said it took him like 40 minutes to figure out the cape, though. So if you do a live unboxing, just keep that in mind, that it might be stressful with that cape.
Wow.
He said the instructions are very vague.
I've definitely done a lot of stressful live unboxings in my day, so I'll just chalk it up to another one, I guess. But anyway, notice it's even got the P. I'm assuming that's the penguin logo for that.
Maybe.
Some sort. I'm not sure. This one also was posted today. This is that Pure Arts life-size penguin.
Looks weird.
I think he turned out good, though. I think
it looks good. It just looks weird, like the oval head without the hat on it.
Yeah. So anyway, that has started to ship as well. You also get the little duck with it. I'm still considering this one. I like it. It's just such a weird, quirky piece, but it was expensive for what you get.
Yeah, I'm a big prop person, but I wasn't a fan of the fact that it just looks like a floating head, and they kind of like played around with their license, I think, just to get this made. But I mean, if you're a big Batman Returns fan, then it makes sense. Yeah.
And I am. I just don't know how he would fit with the rest of my collectibles. I don't know. Let's have to wait and see, I guess. But I think he was over $1,000 if I remember right.
I think 11 or 12.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was just a kind of another bitter pill to swallow with this one.
And that one's considered a mask too. I was telling you.
Yeah, you can wear it.
Yeah, like I don't know if you can wear it, but
well, I mean, the
back of his head isn't like like round like a normal head. It's like shaped like a mask on the back.
Yeah. These are some better photos of that Samurai Killer Croc. I think this might have been done by Enchan's Place, great YouTube channel, so definitely check that out. And also, I wanted to mention, if you haven't seen the Penguin review, check out that on All Things Art on YouTube as well, Eric's channel.
Thank you.
So do me a favor if you would. But I think these photos make it look a little bit better than what we were seeing. I still don't like the color of the blue. Do you guys think it looks better here, or are you guys still kind of along the same opinion that I was kind of saying about the color and just too vibrant?
I personally really love this statue. I like, if I was collecting the samurai line, I would definitely pick this up. And the color now that you see like the whole thing, the colors don't really bother me. So
yeah, I don't think they look as bright in these photos, which makes sense that you're seeing it in a more practical setting. Whereas I think the photos we'd seen before looked more like production, like they're on the factory floor. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look as like patriotic as I felt that the production photos did, with like the red, white, and blue of his sashes and everything.
I do think it works better in this lighting for sure, which is why I wish XM would just do this all the time. Because I never feel like their black background photography really highlights their pieces very well. compared to just in studio lighting like this or in a store lighting. But Dan, has your opinion changed on this one at all, or you still feel kind of like I do?
Yeah, I'm not wild about it. I mean, it looks like a really nice statue. It's just not my idea of Croc. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just view him as a darker, creepier, more monsterish, kind of character. And the colorful nature of this one seems at odds with that. But that's just my taste.
Yeah.
Relative to the character. So, but it looks phenomenal. Like the pose is awesome. The whole thing looks cool. It's just not my preference for the character.
I'm right there with you on it. I and maybe if the colors were a little darker on him, I might like him a little bit better. But
yeah, it's like the samurai line in general, though. It doesn't really look like them that much.
Kinda. Some yes, but not Harley certainly. But if you think like Deathstroke's not colorful. Batman's not colorful.
No,
Batgirl,
it's very
not colorful.
Even Joker is very dark. Like the statue is very dark. I'm looking at it now. Like all the colors, the gold's dark, the purple's dark. There's not like that obnoxious.
Oh, so it's not the colors it's the brightness of the color, like the vibrance.
The brightness.
Vibrant is the right word.
Yeah, vibrant is right, but the brightness. Yeah, you're.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you meant just like the actual color palette. All right.
No. Yeah. It's more the vibrance.
The vibrance. Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Yeah.
Like with Star Wars props, they have there's like an Archive X paint like that ILM use. It's literally called Grime, and it's like a watered down white. And they kind of like that's like the last step is it kind of takes it from looking like it's been just freshly painted to that paint's been on there for a few years. And I feel like that's almost like what that statue needs to tone things down a bit.
I think that's a good point. I think that would be really nice to see something like that.
Could be another repaint for you, Dan. Are you ever going to go through with repainting Harley, the bike?
The bike? Yeah, absolutely.
You are going to do it?
Yeah, I'm absolutely doing it. Yep.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see what it turns out. This was also the Pure Arts. We saw the Penguin. This is the companion piece. Obviously, this I did get to see in San Diego. Jeff and I got to see it in person. I thought it was cool, but I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was necessarily worth the cost. But I do think it turned out nice, obviously, and it's definitely starting to ship in collectors' photos here. Obviously, I'm a massive Michael Keaton fan, so this would be something I would love to have, but I don't know. I guess I'm just a bit underwhelmed by it. So I don't know how you guys feel about it.
If I could chime in, because I feel like this is a little bit more my wheelhouse, just because I do really love props, and I have a more expensive one on order because by a company called De Novo that more commonly does Star Wars stuff. They used to be a Novos, and the initial photos when I went up for pre-order looked fantastic. It had lineage. I think I can trace back exactly what cowl they used to make the mold because I know the person who restored the screen use one.
That's awesome.
And so the ears are wobbly, not straight as they shouldn't be. And that went up for order before the Pure Arts one did. I think this one's a little more idealized because those ears definitely look straight. The concern I have with the De Novo one is the prototype looks awful. It looks nothing like the photos that they posted. The cowl itself is kind of like a really shiny, it's silicone. It's not matte at all, which they said it was going to be matte, and that it was going to be on a base that was like a shiny black to kind of contrast with the matte cowl. So also when they put it up for order, they said they were limiting it to 500. They've since changed that ES to 200. And I think it's because they know they can't sell 500.
Yeah.
And I think it was supposed to ship late last year. They changed it to early 2023, and September's tomorrow. So, and no one has yet, which is a shame. I think if that doesn't pan out, or if they don't produce it soon, or if it's not up to snuff, this is going to be the closest thing I get. I just wasn't crazy about the base as a statue within itself, and it looks really cool when the cowl's not on it.
Yeah.
But I don't like that you can see the base through the mouth. I think that kind of looks distracting, like it's impaled on a statue, when I'd rather just admire the cowl for what it is.
Yeah, because like you mentioned, the base is incredible, and it's just has that iconic architecture from the first two films, and so I could almost see getting this, maybe creating my own stand for it, and just having the the base being a companion piece to it or something like that. I think that would actually be really cool.
So you have
And the
a few-
materials. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I see you have a few cowls behind you that look really cool.
Yeah, I have the Dark Knight, which my head's always in front of, and then the Robert Pattinson. So the Dark Knight is like polystone, and then this one is PVC. So this one was gonna go right here. Well, a Keaton cowl. It's almost like who delivers the product the fastest, or like if Genuino doesn't, I might have to make a decision if I get my money back or something like that. But yes, I plan on putting like a Keaton display right here, with that being the centerpiece, but a cowl being the centerpiece. And yeah, I don't know if I have enough faith in the company. This is their first Batman project. Also, they say it's polystone, but I don't buy that. I think it's polystone, but more heavy on the resin than the actual like cement particles or what have you, because when they've shown this in videos, it actually does bow. You can't wear it, but it does flex a little bit. Whereas the one I have on order is wearable. It's meant specifically for cosplaying.
Cool.
So we'll see.
Keep us posted on that. I'm curious as to how that's going to turn out.
Yeah, thank you. I will.
Yeah. Thank you for all the information. That's awesome. This was one last photo. Somebody actually put a light in it. I thought that was kind of neat. Something kind of different.
She's right. That pole is very distracting.
Yeah, it's just that's the main thing. It's like I love the idea of the base, but then it's just it just doesn't work for me.
With a whole thing being, I'm fairly certain the whole thing is hollow. So I think you could even put this on. The only thing I think it's sturdy enough that even if you put it on like the kind of stands that we put like helmets on, where it's kind of just got like a cylinder or something in the top, and then it's just a straight pole, it would still be able to support itself. So I've got a plan B in mind in case Genuino doesn't deliver.
That's great. I like you said, it's distracting to me. It almost makes it look like a skull teeth or something.
Yeah,
like it's just odd. I think the idea of it's cool, but it just doesn't work in real life, I don't think. We're moving on to PCS. This was a teaser by Aunt Adams, I think either today or yesterday. I thought that was interesting, doing a Rocky.
It looks cool to me.
Yeah, I think this will do very well if it's good likeness.
Quarter scale instead of 1/3.
Yep, I think that'll sell some for sure for him. They also have this teaser. I'm assuming this is Jordan, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that I don't know what scale. Did he say what scale these are going to be? Third?
I don't think he said, but I would assume 3rd. Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume that most of their stuff is 3rd right now. Also, their Street Fighter piece here, Chun-Li, is going on sale this week, I believe.
Pretty pricey.
Yeah. What did they end up being?
I think it's 4,000.
Oh my.
Yeah.
It is such an improvement over the prototype, though. I think she's really cool.
Yeah, me and my son at San Diego were comparing our arms to her arm, and the silicone does look real. I mean, it's impressive.
It does. It looks really, really good, and obviously, again, they've made a lot of improvements since then. But yeah, $4,000, that's a lot. I mean, obviously, they're being competitive with, I guess you would say, Infinity Studios, really, at that price point.
Well, they hope they're trying to be. We'll see.
I was gonna say they're trying to be. We'll see how many they sell.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think she's looking good. Let's see. Sorry, I had more photos of her than I thought. Look at that. I mean, look at the skin there. It's just looks great. I thought this was really great. I think Eric shared this with us. This was from Sean Murphy, who, again, we've had on the show before. A great artist, does the White Knight series. And these are the original concept sketches for the XM pieces, which I really like. Obviously, that's the way the Joker turned out. I love the way that they incorporated Harley in the base. Don't you think they should have done that?
Yep.
Yeah, that one's my favorite.
I love that.
I don't know about her on the bike, but I do like her on the Joker base.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do the bike anyway, but I really like the Joker base combo without that coat.
Yeah. And then they had one with they actually had her in the did they make her with the Jester upper torso? I forget. They have the The prelims are there with her.
Yeah, I don't think they ever did that.
Yeah, so they
I don't
did
think so.
almost plan to do it. Yeah,
What we have here is with the jacket.
I think it says it in the notes like
Yeah, swap out different head question
Yeah.
mark. So obviously they had choices of what they could do, a classic look. But I just thought it was really interesting to see his sketches and how cool it was that that they literally took what he drew and they made it.
Yeah. Well, that's always my question. Anytime we have an artist or like a sculptor on the channel, I'm always fascinated whether or not like they provide like 3D renderings of the entire statue, and this is exactly what that is.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is, and I'm just so impressed with it. Obviously, you can see the evolution of kind of rough sketches to more more permanent sketches, and even like this says Harley's left or foot peg, so like he even thought about that kind of stuff. The batarang flying. The bullet marks, like it's just really cool the way he documented this. So I think this would be really cool to like frame something like this next to the bike.
Yeah, I think Cece said it actually in the group. They should like I would much appreciate having this instead of like an art print that they.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know how well this would blow up, but I'm considering printing this because I just think it would be really cool to frame it next to the bike.
Yeah,
I've been searching for a very long time for that like forbidden print of Finch's XM Sanity. The one that,
the one that I had.
Yeah. They did the sketch version that wasn't colored in, and I think it was the inkist or the colorist who
he got in trouble for that.
Yeah, there's only like 25 of them, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I kind of regret selling that because it's like it was so rare now. You can't, it's just hard to find. But it's just really cool to be able to see this.
This would be incredible to include with the actual statue. It's kind of depressing that they don't, or we don't see more of this.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think collectors would love it. Anyway, thanks Eric for sharing that with us.
Yeah, no problem.
No, there's a few more sketches there of the.
That's the Harley you guys wanted made, right? With the whole jester outfit.
Well, it's actually the one I wanted was the gray suit. From the latter storyline. I just really liked that suit a lot. I didn't love the coat as much, but it is what it is. And of course, this is the Joker that we got, and it's basically exactly the same. Even the cards, the way they designed the cards are the same. And Dan, you still have that one coming, right?
I do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, of course, again, the evolution of it. It's really neat.
Yeah.
Where did he post these? Were they on Instagram?
No, it was on one of those art station pages. I forget the name of it. I'll message you later if I find it again.
Yeah, send it to me, please, because I'd love to print out a couple of these and put them.
Yeah.
I still have the images in high quality. I could send it to you.
Yeah, if you could send me those. That'd be great, Eric.
I'd say I want to do the exact same. I just think it'd be so cool to frame them.
I'll put it through Messenger. Doesn't mess with the quality, so I'll send it through Messenger.
Thanks,
awesome.
Eric.
Awesome, thank you.
I just want to give a shout out to Billy Rios again. Meeting him at Disneyland Disney World this week was a lot of fun. I had a chance to talk to him for a while. I feel bad because we kept his family. They were just wanting to go ride something. So again, I thank his family for putting up with us chatting about statues. So anyway, it was really cool to see him again. I got to see him with Dan and his wife and Eric that night. Just briefly, he popped in at a restaurant we were eating at, and so it was nice to spend a little bit more time with him. Mr. Delaney.
Hey, look at that.
That is impressive, sir. Here's your brand new Dark Side Collectibles Kirk.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I love it. There's even better pictures than those. I wanted to get some pictures in front of Spock, that Spock poster, but that's pretty good.
That's good.
I'm super impressed with it. It's interesting. I was talking to the rep from Darkside, and the 3 Star Trek pieces, each one was done at a different factory.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. They're trying to find the absolute best factories to work with, and I'm super happy with them. I think it looks great.
Likeness is really good. I feel like the skin texture looks really nice. But I'm really happy you finally got him. Obviously, the two of them together here.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
It's awesome, right? It's really fun. So anyway, I just want to show these photos that you had posted, and I just think these turned out really great.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're not going to see any more for a while, but I'm really happy they put out the 3 that they did.
If they put out another character, who would you want? Would you want Bones?
I would want McCoy, but I really like Data.
Oh, that would be cool too. Yeah, that'd be neat.
Data would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be neat. I think a Worf would be cool too.
He would, and so would a Khan.
Oh, that would be amazing. Would you want like original Khan, like Ricardo Montalban?
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
God.
I just got this art print.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's
I'm like,
cool.
it's Bones.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They're not large either, so that's nice. But
Yeah.
I've got Bones, Spock, and Kirk. So we'll see if he does any more.
Very
That's
cool.
awesome. That's
Nice.
very, very cool. That's awesome.
But man, what other company would put out these 3 Star Trek pieces in 1/3 scale?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's incredible.
I'm so glad they did.
Me too.
And people, I don't think they get enough credit. That picture of the hand, I mean, you can see his veins under the skin. There's a kind of a moisture to his skin, like it's real. I mean, that's all polystone, and I think Darkseid deserves more credit than they get.
And I think the more they release, the more reputation they're going to get. I know a lot of people are very, excited, obviously, about the Catwoman. And I don't know. I haven't talked to my rep for quite a while. We have the same rep that we speak to, and so I don't know where they're at with Catwoman. I know that there's been some delays and some factory issues, because there's a lot of companies competing for the same factories. And so I know that we just have to be patient, but if Catwoman's anything like what we're seeing here, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
You have to respect them for shopping around and not settling for whoever's available, if that makes sense. Like,
Yep.
if any product's delayed because they want to put out the best product possible, I'm not going to complain about being impatient.
So they have a T800 on motorcycle that a lot of people are waiting for. It's been delayed. That piece, the owner of the company has turned down 4 production samples from the factory.
Wow.
Because he's a total perfectionist. He wants it to be perfect, and that's why it's been delayed for as long as it has been.
Goodness gracious, that's impressive. That is impressive. I just checked our messenger from earlier. I missed Jeff Morris's comment. Jeff's feeling under the weather. He wishes he could be here with us tonight, so I just want to send my well wishes to him, and hopefully he feels better soon. This is the Witchblade. This is from XM in some black and white photography. I don't know if these are renders or if this is actually the statue, but I continue to think she looks pretty good here. We talked a little bit about her expression. Could maybe be a little bit better. You guys still think that, or do you feel like it looks better here?
I wish that added a second portrait with some sort of emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
This goes up for pre-order in about 7 hours.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I know it was very, very soon. I think it will be popular. Obviously, all of those divine statues have been really incredible.
I like the armor.
Yeah, the armor looks great. I think the sculpt looks really great.
What do you call that? Biomechanical. Almost looks like the way my arm's tattooed, like the robotic metal.
Obviously,
and the face is really cool.
It's a little bit more of a risque character, obviously, so it might not be for everybody, but
that's
really
Divine's
nice.
little niche that they're going with Aphrodite 9 and Angelus, and they've got whatever Robin Hood, Robyn Hood, that's coming up. And they got some good stuff coming.
Yeah, I think obviously it's sold well for them. It's turning out to be a really impressive line. We have some in-hand photos from Tweeterhead. Obviously, this is the He-Man and Battle Cat. Again, it looks great to me.
If you want that one, hurry.
Yeah.
I went back and forth with someone on Statue Forum this week who claimed that there's no way they will ever make 1,000 of these. And so I asked Chad. He said, "Oh yeah, they're all made."
Oh wow,
they're made. Yeah, they're made.
They made 1,000 of these, and it shows low stock on Sideshow sites. So I don't know. Maybe it's coming in batches, maybe it's not. But they've all been produced. And if you're thinking about this, I would not wait.
I'm here to tell you guys, He-Man is sold very, very well for Tweeterhead. They are very, very happy with what's happened. And so, yeah, I think the popularity is going to surprise people with these statues.
Yep.
So I agree with Jeff. Get them while you can. Here's an example of the box, kind of what the art looks like. But obviously, they are starting to ship. So again, if you are interested, better hurry.
Yep.
Alfred obviously went up for pre-order this week from PrimeOne, $599 USD. Dan and I both have ordered this one, and because we wanted the bonus, which is the cowl. You get the tea set basically for the regular, which looks great, and then of course you have this cowl where he's holding the cowl. Dan, did you hesitate at all?
For just a second, because of the shipping nonsense that Eric's had to go through. But
Yeah.
I'll be completely honest with everybody. My thinking is they'll have all that cleared up by
It could have been just me. You never know.
25.
Yeah, this is at least a year and a half out, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe a year. I'll be optimistic.
Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if it was just me that it happened to. So don't.
I think it's happening to other people too. I still have not ordered the Batcave yet. I know Dan has not ordered it.
And now I have room.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you going to take a second look then?
I don't know, man. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I don't know.
What do you think about $600 for Alfred? Do you feel like that's fair?
I thought that was fair. I'm okay with that for a cool quarter scale with that kind of really nice swap out. I'm okay with that.
I agree. I was maybe expecting a little bit less, maybe, just because it is a simplistic. There's not a lot of bells and whistles with him. He is just a skinny dude. But I thought it was fair. I didn't hesitate. This one, on the other hand, we talked about earlier. Again, $2,200 for a quarter scale.
The only thing with that, Alfred, if you have the other swap out, I guess it's the bonus. You would have to do it more as like like a standalone piece, because he has Batman's cowl and cape, and Batman has his cape on.
Yeah. Or it could be the way I kind of thought. I thought exactly the same way you did, Eric. And then I thought in my mind, well, maybe Batman, this one's dirty, so he's got a new one for him.
Yep.
He has multiple. I have the economy version on order, so just him, Batman in the chair, and it doesn't have the Fabok portrait. But I'm on the fence with Alfred. I'm really selective with my comic inspired pieces, so I know I got to choose fast. But
my biggest issue with the computers, which I think are awesome, whenever they're all black, when you don't have it on, I just don't know if I love that look.
Yeah.
Well, and my thought was, besides the price and the space, is it's one more thing that could break.
Yeah.
Because God knows, I know a lot of people, like, again, with Star Wars statues, like half the lightsabers show up broken in shipping, or they break over time. So I think it's really cool, but I don't think it's sustainable, like something that's going to continue working 10 years from now, those screens.
Yep. I think that's a very valid point that people have to think about. 500 pieces on that one. Again, this is what we talked about earlier with the Snape. I do think the Snape looks fantastic. Again, he's my favorite character from the Potter series. But we talked about earlier, so I won't spend a ton of time on this. But again, $2,200 is insane. But obviously, people are buying it, and so God bless all the people that are. But again, I do think that, I do wish that PrimeOne would consider doing a kind of a regular version for collectors, so they don't feel left out. And then still have this deluxe version for collectors that want something a little special. I don't have any problem with that, but I do worry about alienating the collectors.
Do you see a lot of posts in the group, people saying, yes, I purchased that? Because I still think, like, I never trust those things where it says low stock alert. I feel like sometimes that's just a gimmick.
Of course,
when it sells out, that's when I'll believe it sold out.
Yeah, it's a gimmick. And it could be a gimmick just for batches, like batch number 1 sold out. Sure. Okay. Well, maybe 30 sold. But no, I've not seen one person buy this. At least in our groups.
Does Queen Studios have their Harry Potter license? I know there's other Queen Studios kind of taking a pause on a few projects right now, but I could have sworn they also. Okay.
I feel like they do, but I don't think they've shown us anything other than maybe. No, I guess that was PrimeOne that showed us a Harry Potter render. I think of Harry Potter himself. I think that they do have the license, but I don't know if I've seen anything from them render wise. They've really slowed down.
Yeah.
Sure.
But that could be potential in the future. Not this year, maybe not even next year, but for a Snape that's not as expensive.
Yeah. But I think the likeness is very good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought this was really cool. This is a Monsters Inc. This is 10 scale. Doesn't it look really big?
It does look big.
There's
I thought
two
well,
versions.
maybe this is like a quarter scale or something, but it's 10th.
There's two versions. There's a regular and a deluxe, and the regular is not bad. It's like
It's right there.
270 or something.
Yeah, there's the regular.
Yeah, and then the regular is like 800.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the deluxe is like 800.
But it's really a big piece. I was really impressed with how big it is. If you're a Disney fan, love Monsters Inc. So
Yeah.
I thought that turned out. Obviously, this has got the door in a little bit bigger base, but I think the regular looks great too.
Yep.
It's only 4 pounds. Is that too light for you? Or no?
That's a question for earlier in the show, I guess. But anyway, I thought that was a fun one. Again, there's a better look right there at the statue. Again, Iron Studios doing great stuff. Again, there's the backside. Great colors. They've been doing a lot of really cool Disney ones lately. They also did an ET. I can't remember. Was this one at San Diego, Jeff?
No.
I didn't think so. But that's a fun one of ET. Again, a sizable piece, although it's not as big as the one we just saw. It's a lot
That's
smaller.
pretty fun. I like that one.
Yeah, I do too. I thought it was a pretty good likeness to Drew Barrymore. Not bad.
Gertie.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a smaller scale, the portraits look decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that looks like Drew to me.
Yep.
Him not as much. At least to me, but ET looks great.
Yep.
They also have a new Wolverine that's up for pre-order this week. I thought he was pretty fun. It was kind of a Japanese base.
That's cool.
I thought, and it had a different swap out too for the portraits.
I like that one.
Yeah, it's fun. Kind of squatty.
Yeah.
And then these are some photos that somebody had posted from DX Toys. A little bit better look at it.
It's got some big eyebrows.
Yeah, look at those. Crazy. And there's the alternative portrait there.
Oh, I like that resin on the koi pond.
Yeah, it looks nice.
And it's 1/10. That's pretty impressive, I feel.
Yeah,
Between that
110.
and the swap out.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. I liked it. So that went up for pre-order this week. There's maybe a little bit better look at the kois, the fish in there.
That's nice.
It's fun. I liked it. This is a new offering this week from Hot Toys. Again, we don't talk about Hot Toys very often here on the channel, but I like to at least feature some. So if you are a fan, you might see something you like. And again, this is up for pre-order right now at Sideshow. Obviously from the newer films. 6 scale.
Is that from what show was it? The Mandalorian, the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
Yep.
great scene with those guys.
Yeah, they were fun. So I can see people wanting to get a couple of these, adding to their collection. Obviously, again, pair them up with different weapons and things. They also had a new Black Panther, which I thought was really well done. Somebody had mentioned him earlier with that super chat. So again, thank you again for that super chat, guys.
That looks really good.
I thought,
Yeah.
great likeness.
And it looks like they clarified with a second super chat. By the way, I don't know if you caught that one. So another $20 super chat saying that we're correct in our assumption in the translation.
Okay, good. At least, sorry we had to decode that for us. But anyway, thank you again for that. That was awesome. Great piece of Black Panther. I really like this portrait too. I thought that was fun. The mask.
Yeah.
Somebody posted this in one of the groups. I just had to share it because I thought it was awesome.
Tony Daniel.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
That's a tattoo. Like, that is awesome.
That's commitment. That's a big one.
That
too.
is commitment.
That's a big one.
That is terrifying. But I love the red color. That's like, that's so cool. So neat. This is just some final photos here, guys. This is the new Toys King store that opened up. I love to see galleries like this whenever they start putting, displays together and how clean and crisp this looked. I'm assuming you guys saw this.
I haven't. No. Which Superman was that? XM? That's
Yeah, this is all XM.
Okay.
You got the legendary beast as well in there.
Wow.
Look at
that
I'm pretty sure that's Delaney's Hulk right there.
And he's behind the other one.
That's
Yeah.
exactly the one I'm getting.
Oh my
Look at
god.
the size of that thing. Oh my god. Jeff.
You know what's funny?
You're in so much trouble, Delaney.
Look at the size of the table. It doesn't even fit on the table.
It doesn't
know
fit on the table.
What's funny about that piece? It's only 16 inches deep.
It's crazy.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's
like
4 feet
enormous.
It still looks like you could lay on
Though.
that base, like take a nap on it.
Yeah,
It's like a coffin.
Oh, isn't that just crazy?
it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
But again, I thought it was really cool the way they had it all displayed together, real nice and clean.
Beautiful.
Yeah, really beautiful, and love the art on the wall. I always like to see how stores display their things, and I just wish them success because this is obviously a big financial commitment to create something like this. So
Yeah.
it's just nice to be able to display the art like it is, and they obviously have different sections as well. But it's all XM stuff at this store.
Those almost look like garage shelves because they
Yeah,
have
these-
the
these
notches
right
in
here?
the back.
Yeah, with the
White
notches.
ones.
Yeah, like those. Yeah, like more like industrial
Mhm.
shelves. Anyway, I thought it was really cool to see all these on display. And there's back to Eric. That's how we'll end right there with Eric's face. So yeah, there's some good stuff there. We saw again, it's been kind of slow really with what's been revealed lately. And I think that's obviously intentional. I think it's a sign of everybody kind of slowing down company wise and fan wise, what they're purchasing. Which I know it doesn't make as fun of a show, but it's like it's always nice to see new renders and things like that. But obviously, it's nice to see that some things are being delivered and some things are turning out really great. Again, congratulations to Eric on his awesome penguin. And again, Jeff Delaney, the nightmare of displaying that Hulk is a real reality, my friend.
It's going to be fun.
Oh, I can't wait to see it all together. I can't wait to see what you do with it.
I'm going to have to unbox it downstairs in our courtyard because there's no way I'm carrying that upstairs.
Yeah, I just can't even imagine like just trying to navigate the boxes and get them out of the box.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure.
It'll be interesting, but
So while we were on the show, I bought a book. I've been looking for a copy for a long time, and it actually popped up on eBay during the show. So if you want to show it, I just sent it in our private chat.
all right, let me grab it real quick. Sorry, it takes me just a second, guys.
I've been looking for a 9.4 for a long time, and it magically appeared while we were just starting the pictures at a good price. Shockingly, a good price on eBay of all places.
Oh,
That is
that
awesome.
book.
Oh, I did promise I would. Our good friend Brad Ladner. I don't know if Brad has been in the chat tonight or not, but anyway, he is selling a Killing Joke 9.4, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody is interested in looking for a Killing Joke 9.4, it's an original copy. Please hit me up, and I will try to get that information to you if you're interested in that book.
And I've got 4 statues up in the BS. There it is right there.
There it is right there. Boom.
1970, Neil Adams cover.
I've never seen that cover. I love it.
Isn't that
Yeah,
cool?
that's great.
I
Is
love
it not? Is it Nazis?
No,
That's
no,
what
no.
I thought at first. Yeah.
No, it's Enemy Ace. He's a DC character. He was in lots of backup stories through the 60s and 70s.
That's fun. And what year did you say this was?
This is 1970, so
1970.
53 years old already.
That's crazy.
It's really cool.
Beautiful cover. I don't think I've ever seen that one. That Papa Red's really nice.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool.
The blue. Well, congratulations. That's great.
Thank you. But as I was saying, I've got 4 statues up for sale in the Batman Statue Collector BST group. The original Hulk maquette from the first Avengers movie. The Deadpool premium format, which is completely sold out, and it's the exclusive. The XM Shibumi, which I know has a very limited audience, but it's a very cool piece. And there's a 4th one, but I can't remember what it is. But if you're interested, take a look in the BST group.
Well, I guess I'll just remind people too that I've got the Sideshow Poison Ivy and PrimeOne Poison Ivy for sale as well, if anybody's interested. And I still have this, and I'm still jealous of CC, but I've got this Jock CGC. I'm still selling this one. I still have not received mine yet.
I'm still upset for you. I'm like, he's gonna post it in the group when he gets it. Stop asking. Like it'll show up.
Did you get yours yet, CC?
I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna email them again because like they said it was supposed to ship last week to them and then ship to me immediately. So I don't know. I haven't heard a thing. So
What's funny is I got the one that Chris and I suspected was his
yeah.
based on the cover that he sent in, that he was like, I really like this cover. And I thought of the ones that he had posted on Instagram, I was like, maybe I'm getting this one. And I really liked the one, I think, is it Matt got in the group
Yeah,
with
Matt
the
got that
rain.
one.
Yeah, that was the one I really liked too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But it's funny, I think it, for me anyway, it shipped out of very close to where CGC is based out of, which I had no idea that they were, they're out of, I think, Bradenton, Florida.
Oh, interesting. I mean, and I'm assuming Jock has to ship it from the UK because that's where I'm assuming that's where he's at right now. So and maybe that'll just take a little longer. And I'm just being patient. I'm trying my best.
Of all of them, that's why it's taking so long.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm so happy that you got that one, and it's so cool. It's so cool that like so many people we know got those commissions. Like it's really neat to share that excitement. Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, the fourth piece I'm offering is the Tweeterhead Merman exclusive.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean did I skip? I didn't mean to skip over.
No, I couldn't remember what it was, and then it popped in my head.
Oh, okay. Anybody else want to like pops up in there, like either you're selling or anything that you're offloading into the community?
Dan's got a house.
Yeah, Dan's on a house. He sold it though, right?
House is sold.
All right, cool.
What are you gonna do with the old shelves? Are you gonna like bash them, or are you gonna repurpose them?
I'm saving the material, but they won't be making it to the new cave. I just don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet.
Well, I'm excited for next week. Next week is Baltimore Comic-Con, and I'm picking up my commission from David Finch.
Whoa,
so it's awesome! About dang time. Did you sell your other pieces that you were selling?
I sold the art print that had the remark, and I'm still not sure what I'm doing with that book. I have a what's that? Oh,
I hate you. Let's show everybody. Look at that thing.
David.
He was the other artist I wanted to get for San Diego, so he's still on my list.
You have to get him.
Yeah,
he does such a great job, and look at that. That is phenomenal.
It's just incredible. Yeah.
So I asked for something similar. Yeah, I asked for something similar to that, and they told me anything in the background is at his discretion. So if it's on a building or whatever, background materials, it's up to him.
I am tempted to take it to him and say, "Can I pay you again to do the background?"
I was thinking that you should do something like that.
You should. Why not?
I don't know why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that, I mean, again, he was so cool to talk to, and he's just such a cool dude. But I don't know how much it would cost to do the background, but I'm like, that would be really cool to have.
Did you see? He just posted some artwork on Facebook. It's Batman and Robin.
Yes, I saw that today.
Those buildings alone look amazing. The way he did the building.
He's been, and like you said, he just knocks them out so quick. Like he's a master at what he does. He's phenomenal. So CC, you got to do it.
Yeah. My friend Casual Nerd Problems, who also has a YouTube channel, and I think Chris, you met him at San Diego.
I did.
He goes to so many conventions that David Finch recognizes him, and he has a sketchbook where he'll have the artist just sign. And one, I forget what convention, but he did like his name, and then he drew like the Bat logo. And so for San Diego, he was like, "Let's do the Justice League." So I think in San Diego, he did like Wonder Woman's logo. I think at another convention, he did like the Green Arrow. So he's like,
cool.
Or Green Lantern. He's like, let's go. Let's keep going.
That's awesome.
Cool.
He showed me a sketchbook. I was honored. He actually wanted me to sign and sketch something in his sketchbook. So I did. That was really fun while we were waiting in line for Jim Lee. We were both waiting in line for him. And so that was really neat. Again, Casual Nerd Problems, great guy and great channel as well. And I know CC's on that channel and some other channels here and there, I think, right?
Yeah. So like I'm on, I don't want to be here for 5 minutes, but like, I've been able to meet a lot of friends through YouTube channels. So, like Casual, we occasionally typically every week do a show on Mondays called Among Collectors. So like I'm the art print person. John, the everyday collector, is like the statue guy. My friend Danny's like the comic guy. So Sean's like the small scale guy. So we'll just talk about like our perspectives on the different things we collect.
It's really great.
So I'm on John's channel a lot, the everyday collector. The channel that I consider my home is Rogue 16. So it's like more high-end Star Wars collectibles. So statues, prop replicas. My main thing is like the prop replicas and the art prints.
That's awesome. Well, Cece, it was so great to finally meet you in person there at San Diego. That was awesome. I wish we could have hung out longer. It was hard because I wanted to try to talk to everybody, but I wish we could have spoken a little longer. But anyway, I thank you for popping on and accepting the challenge tonight. That was awesome. I want to thank. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, just thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That was a new record for females on the show tonight. So
yeah, I think maybe so. That might be. That's right. I want to thank Susan again for being here. That was really awesome. And gentlemen, as always, thank you for being on the show. Hope everybody has a great rest of your week. And we'll be back in a couple weeks for Rogues Gallery Live. It might maybe toss around the idea of maybe an auction show. We'll see. I'll see if anybody's ready for that. I think we're probably due for one. So anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Really appreciate it. And please hit the like button on the way out. And definitely check out all these fine folks, their channels that they mentioned, All Things Art, and of course Secret Sanctuary, and all the ones that Cece just mentioned as well. And again, Dan, good luck with this move. Yep, we're thinking about you, my friend. And otherwise, everybody, we'll see you in the back cave. Good night, everybody.
Good night, all.
Thanks for watching.
Good night.